Hey friends, welcome back to Farm Girl Diaries. I wanted to show you the start of the 2023 garden season. I am so excited. I have all of these babies already started. I unfortunately didn't get to have the opportunity to plant these seeds with y'all, but I wanted to show you that we do have some plants growing down in the grow room. But what I thought was funny about this video was that this is the day after I filmed this video and my top grow light just died. So I just had to rearrange everything to fit on 2 shelves instead of 3.
I haven't done any seed starting videos this year. I actually got a lot of my seeds, not all of them, but a lot of my seeds started already. And I just didn't bring you guys along for that. I actually did that with one of my best friends. She wanted to start a garden, so I said, come on over and I'll help you get everything started. So we got a lot of our plants started, but this channel has become basically just a cooking channel just because we're kind of in the middle of a garden season right now, but I felt the need to have at least a little bit of a garden video. So I just wanted to bring you down, show you everything that I have going so far, and what I just did some things yesterday, and then what I still have to do. So I had a lot of stuff already. I have this tray here, I have a whole tray down here, and then I have a third tray down below. So I did something different this year that I've never done before, but I liked it. So first, I planted all of my plants just in 6-cell trays. And if you notice, let me see if I can get maybe over here. I have multiple plants in each cell. I don't know where to go with this. Multiple plants in each cell. So instead of using the big trays, like these guys, I prefer using these guys, or at least I did this year and I really liked it. The benefit to this way of starting seeds is that I planted multiple seeds in each cell, and that way when I did the trays I did 1 seed per cell, and I had a lot of waste. Like if a seed didn't germinate, or mainly if a seed didn't germinate, I felt like that was just a waste of a cell, a waste of space, and a waste of time. So by doing it this way, by planting multiple seeds in each cell, I kind of minimized the amount of space that I need, the amount of soil that I need, and got a better, I think, output. So I think doing it this way, it's less soil that I need to use in the beginning, it's less space, and now when I upplant, I'm only upplanting what I have, whereas if I start them in the trays, let's say I start 10 tomato seeds and only 7 germinate, that's 3 cells that were wasted that could have been used for something else. So I like this way. And another thing I did differently this year is I do have a plan of how many plants I want. I know I want 5 pepper plants, 6 jalapenos. Like I know what I want in that regard, but especially with tomatoes, I don't really know. I know what I want to put in the garden, but not how many. But with this, I didn't really think about the numbers that I need. So I just planted and I have what I have. So for example, this row here is Paul Robeson tomatoes, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 Paul Robesons, and that's going to be more than enough, but that's what I have. So I wasn't obsessing about, okay, how many Paul Robesons, mortgage structures, how many do I want? So I kind of started some seeds, and that's what I got. And if you notice in this one down here, it's hard to see with this light. Where do I go? I don't know how to show you. This one right here in this whole cell, only 1 tomato germinated. So it is a waste of that little cell a little bit, but I at least feel like I didn't waste as much space as I would have if I had used the trays. So I liked this method. I bought these little 6-packs off of Amazon, and I liked this method for my tomatoes better. And then what I'm doing is as they get this light in is terrible. What I'm doing is as they get their first sets of true leaves on them, I am upplanting them. So yesterday I took my 6-pack of red brandywines and I uppotted them into these single-use cells. And you can see I have the germination leaf here, and then right here is my first set of true leaves. So and I'm getting the second set is growing now. So I wanted to wait until they had their second set of true leaves, and especially these ones up here with my Paul Robesons. They're getting their second set of true leaves. So these guys should get up potted this week. But you can see the roots. See if I can show you. The roots are coming out of the bottom of this container, and that is a beautiful sign. Beautiful sign means my plants are doing really well. So there's another benefit to doing 6-packs and not trays. So that benefit is, this here is my basil. Get the light. That is my basil. And basil and all herbs, here you can barely see. I don't know if you can actually see without the light. This is oregano and chives. So you can see how small those plants are. A benefit to not using the trays is that how to use the trays, this basil and that oregano and chives, they are nowhere ready to be potted up at all. So if I had used the trays as things like my tomatoes get bigger, I would have had to pot up my tomatoes, but I wouldn't be ready to pot up my basil. So I would still have a lot of wasted space with those trays. So I really like the use of the 6-packs. It just saves on space in the whole setup and the whole like how I'm getting light to them, and just saves space in general. Another thing that I always forget about when I do the trays, and I didn't even have to think about it with the 6-packs, is size. Okay, so we're going to use the basil again and my cabbages. So you can see, let me put my hand there. I have some nice looking cabbages already. Look at them. I mean, they are glorious. So as things get too big, as they get tall, you can't put the humidity dome anymore. And you can see I don't use a humidity dome at all with my 6-packs. But when I did the trays, I did actually put a humidity dome on it. And you have things like this happen where some things grow slower and don't get as tall, and they need the humidity dome or they benefit from it, and then some things get too tall too fast that you can't have the humidity dome on anymore. I made the silly mistake of starting ornamental grass. And it quickly it grew like grass. Who would have known? So some things with the trays will get too tall that you can't use the dome anyway. And I feel like if you're starting with the trays, you want to be able to use that dome. So I have had these 6-packs before, and I've up-potted into them, but I've never started seeds in them. But I think this is how I'm going to do it from now on. First of all, made it so easy. And second of all, now these are cabbages that I already up-potted. But in regards to my tomatoes, you can take an entire 6-pack and say, okay, this 6-pack is red brandywine tomatoes. This 6-pack is cabbage. And then it makes it a lot easier to kind of organize, especially if you're not counting on how many plants you want to get. It makes it a lot easier to organize your plants, and especially if you don't know how many plants you want to have. It kind of just an easy way, and you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit, right? So I really have enjoyed doing these 6-packs. I think they've worked really, really well for my started seeds. And what I'm doing, and you'll see me, I'm playing with my plants a lot. Play with your plants. I'm actually getting ready to go out of town. By the time you see this, I'm either out of town or just back from out of town. So I'm waiting until I get back. But when I get back, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put a fan on these. And you want these plants you want to mimic the conditions of outside. So outside we have wind, we have rain. You want to mimic those conditions. So I'll come in, I'll shake my plants, I'll pet them, I'll turn a fan on, and especially with the fan, I will work up the fan speed until I have that thing cranking as hard as that thing can crank and my plants stand straight. It makes for stronger plants. So currently I don't have a fan on them right now, but I am doing a lot of petting I didn't come in here and pet in all my plants, and I'm being pretty aggressive with them. And you want to be aggressive with them because the more aggressive you are and not break them, the better your plants are, the stronger your plants are. So you can see, like, I'm really kind of playing with these guys a little bit, flopping them around, and they're going to be just fine. It's just going to make them much stronger. So it is mid-March right now. My last frost date is the end of April. So I have all of my brassicas started, all of my broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage. I think those are it for my brassicas. I have some of my flowers started that take a little bit longer. I have geraniums, I have marigolds, that's the big one I have started. I have chamomile. I started begonias, but they didn't actually germinate, so that's upsetting. And that's, I think, it for the flowers as of right now. I have all the peppers started, they're down below. So I have all the tomatoes started, I have all the peppers started. Oh, I did start hollyhock. I have a good amount of hollyhock started for a flower. Oh, and I forgot. I'm excited about this. I have poppies. Look at all these poppies. So, I did an orange poppy, which I grew last year. I only got 4 of them. But that's okay. Because the red poppies, these are ones I just ordered. And I don't think, let me see. I don't think I have. Oh, yes. I bought these Fallen in Love poppies. What do I got? So those red poppies that are doing so well are these Fallen in Love poppies I got from Baker Creek, and they are so pretty. I'm so excited to watch them bloom. And so then in addition to just the stuff I mentioned, I have my herbs started. Oh, I have calendula. So that's what I've started so far. So basically, the only thing I don't have started right now is what I'm considering, aside from my peppers, what I'm considering summer crops. I don't have any squash started. I don't have any pickles or cucumbers, beans. I have a whole list of what I'm going to plant next. But things like cucumber and zucchini and butternut squash and beans, they get big so quickly. So I'm not starting them right now. I'm just holding off. And I'm probably going to start them at the end of March, and then that'll give them a solid month and a half to grow in here, and they're going to grow quickly. So that'll give me plenty of time. They won't get too big in here. I don't have to worry about them blooming in here. And that'll allow me to get them started, but not have them be massive by the time they go out in the garden. And again, we're just saving space up here. As we start up potting everything, so especially as these tomatoes, as I start up potting them into their own 6-pack or smaller containers, we're really going to run into trying to find more space. So I'm going to be just mindful of that, and that's okay. We figure it out every year. We're going to figure it out. I have soil somehow down my sleeve. Okay, so something else I did new this year that I'm really, really excited for is I started my dahlia bulbs. Now, I just realized I have more to do. I have soil in my elbow. How do I have soil down my sleeve? I don't know. I really don't know. It's like in there too. So last year I left the majority of my dahlia bulbs in the ground out of laziness. By the end of the garden season, I'll be honest, I'm exhausted and I don't care about the garden. I hate it, and I know I'm going to be pissed off at myself the next year that I didn't get those bulbs out of the ground, but such is life. It happens every single year. So, and this year I say I'm going to do better in August or September when I pull up my bulbs. I'm going to do better, and we'll see. But I bought another box of dahlia bulbs, and the complaint that I have with dahlias, while I love them, the complaint I have with dahlias is by the time they start like really blooming, it's the end of August, September, and the frost is coming. So I really only get like a month of bloom time for my dahlias. And that's annoying because they take so long to grow and then I get a month of blooms. So what I did is I started all of them. So the ones I bought, I started. I did pull bulbs out of the ground. I forgot about them, so I'm actually gonna put them over here so I remember. I want to get them also potted, but I just threw my bulbs into these big pots, and like this guy here, I did 3 bulbs per pot, and just to get them started. I can up pot them as they start blooming, but I just wanted to kind of give them a jump start. And then I did the same with echinacea. I bought a box of echinacea, and this is also known as coneflowers, and I think they're really pretty and they're medicinal, and I've wanted them for a while. I just bought one last year, but I only have one, so I want to get some more. So this was a box of 6 echinacea plants. So I also got them started as well, just so that they can go in the ground as like little as plants and not just something that looks like a dead root. So I have them started as well. And then the other thing I did, sillily, I bought, I think it's called a calendulum. I'm gonna put the name here. I don't actually know what it's called, but and I'll put a picture. It's a really pretty foliage plant, and I bought one last year thinking it was a perennial, and it wasn't. So I figured out how to take, I guess it's a perennial in certain zones, but not my zone. So I figured out how to take the bulbs and try to overwinter the bulbs. And what ended up happening is I actually created a greenhouse, and my bulbs have started growing. So I did not put my plants, my bulbs, I did not put them in the ground. So I did not put these bulbs in the soil with anything on them. So this was a surprise. I found out my bulbs had sprouted, so I threw them into some soil. And then I bought a fig tree. I wanted a fig tree. And they had them at Tractor Supply, so I finally bought one. And I potted him, and I have him under the grow light until he can go outside. So we're just doing really good down here. Everything is growing really well. We're getting started on all of our plants. And like I said, in about a week and a half, I'm going to start the rest of my garden vegetables. But so far, we have a really, really good thing going down here. Our plants are doing great. I love coming down here and just, garden season has started, and I'm so excited. So I'm already even coming down here, and I'm just like staring at my plants. I'm like, look how pretty you are. Look how pretty you are. So I'm so excited to get this year's garden into full swing. I'm actually getting ready to get a dump truck load of soil delivered, I think, and then my wood chips, and then we're going to be back in the garden. I'm getting that ready for this season. So I'm so excited. It's been a long winter, and I'm over it. So thank you guys for joining me. Stay tuned as these little guys grow up, go in the garden, and become our food. I'll see you in the next video, friends.